he should have been given a lot of time on the rates way back here.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're going back to Texas. News Now Houston has just been convicted and sentenced to 20 years in prison for sexual assault of a minor. And we're going to watch some of Frauditor Troll's reporting on him. We're going to watch some of the police chief's interview and one of his clips about the case himself. He's posted for a long time that he's falsely accused. It's all made up, but jury saw right through everything. And he was convicted and sentenced. So I'm sure he's going to appeal. I'm sure we'll hear about him in the future. But I want to keep this one brief, just kind of put out the quick facts. Let you guys decide. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at some of the facts.
So this was day 6 of the trial. The defendant is Earl David Worden. And as it says, they started resuming their deliberations at 9 o'clock in the morning. At 12:30, they got lunch. And at 1:37, the jury returned with a verdict of guilty of sexual assault of a child as charged in the indictment. The jury polled per state request. And then they did a recess. Now, for the sentencing, I was told that Worden requested that his fate would be decided by a jury instead of a judge. And that is going to be his demise, because a judge can be a little bit more impartial and not get his feelings involved too much. As to a jury, they've never seen this stuff before, and these are very despicable crimes. So they're likely going to throw the book at him. Now, I don't know how many years he's facing, but considering that this is not the first time he's convicted of heinous crimes like this, hopefully it's a couple decades, because this guy needs to be locked up. I don't even understand how he's still walking free among society. But anyways, that's about to change. And I just want people to remember, for all the frauditors that look up to him, this is a very sick man. Your hero is very disturbed, and you should not look up to him.
Okay, guys, these are the people you're looking up to. They're not here for you. They're here for clout-chasing content, monetization from YouTube, and they're in it for their own interest. They only care about themselves. This one just so happens to be a sex offender. It was reported that he was sentenced to 20 years. So let's move on.
Let me just play you this, because it's an interesting moment in this video. He's chatting. This is a state trooper. And now he's going to tell him he's an ex-cop.
So you'll have to generate a report and send it over to Fusion.
That's David talking.
So your next step is what? Can I get your name? How many times have you been through this? I'm also an ex-cop. Oh yeah? Yeah. For what department? Not for a department. One time I worked for federal law enforcement. Oh. FBI, DEA, ATF. Best if I don't say. Secret Service. Keep warmer? Best if I don't say.
So, to your knowledge,
He's full of crap. Yeah. He was a wannabe cop. That was his deal. But he didn't have the moral character to be a police officer.
I guess at 23, it's possible, and this is my thinking, is he got out of high school, joined the military. Could have been an MP, maybe?
Possible. Possible.
I mean, could that be where he's getting this, I was a federal agent?
Yeah. I mean, that's possible, but I could tell back then he was a security guard who wanted to go further into law enforcement.
Yeah.
But for some reason he had maybe sex addiction. Maybe he was just a plain sociopath.
Yeah. 'Cause I get, all my reading tells me that these guys are not actually in it for the sex, so to speak. It's the power. It's the
Power,
control.
control, yeah.
And if he's using handcuffs,
Oh yeah.
then he's definitely
Yeah.
down that path. So, but you are unaware, at least up until his
Yeah,
arrest of him being
I
a
don't
federal
even.
agent.
Right, no, I never heard of that. And to be honest with you, I'm not even too sure he was in the military. I never got that.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to fill the gap.
No,
you
I
know?
never ran across that information that he was an ex-military.
Yeah, so yeah, he was born in 1961. He would have been 23 and 10 months on July 4th when he raped
Yeah.
the person he was convicted of raping.
He was born in 61.
61.
Huh. I'm only 3 years older than him, so he's about 57.
Yeah, I'm about 3 years younger than him. So that ain't.
So right around 23 years old, he was convicted of raping somebody. Jeremy DeWitt, right? Registered sex offender, convicted of raping a minor, and wannabe cop. The police chief was watching a video of him interacting with another police officer, explaining that he was a federal agent somewhere, was a security guard at best.
I remember those years. I remember 85, 86. We had 8 tracks in our cars still, some of
Yeah.
us. There were no cell phones.
Right.
So these ladies were in big trouble,
Right.
getting pulled over.
Oh yeah, no,
Dark
yeah,
highway.
they did. They were at the mercy of the person who was stopping them.
Yeah. Well, here's the way it worked out for David, and I'll just say it on camera so that he got shot probation. Okay.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's stunning, especially with the second prosecution, felony prosecution. So he's got 2 felonies, and he's on shock probation. Well, he didn't take the break he got. He ends up with carrying a weapon into a licensed, I guess it could have been a bar, somewhere where they had an alcohol license.
Yeah, I'm sure he had access to weapons because he was a security guard.
Yeah, but he's a double felon. This is one of
But
the
he's-
interesting things. And the next
But he's a sociopath. See?
Yes.
He doesn't think the rules apply to him.
yeah,
He's above it all.
he got 5 years in penitentiary for that. The way they
So he got shock probation for this rape.
For the
with
rape?
an armed weapon. And
aggravated sexual assault.
yeah.
To rape somebody, have weapons charges, and just get probation is ridiculous. Finally got him, but he had to go rape a minor to get his full 20-year sentence. It's just we have to take this more seriously and actually take care of these issues before they compound. This guy slipped through the cracks. Like we can all agree on that.
That's what this guy's doing. And
To be honest with you,
so 5 and 5. He ended
Yeah.
up in jail in the penitentiary for 10 years. Even though, I mean, he
should
eventually
have
got
been-
that 10 years.
he should have been given a lot of time on the rapes way back here. Like I said, if I was back in detectives and I had an unsolved homicide and it had to do with rape, and I knew he was out of jail, I'd be looking for him. I'd want to talk to him and see where he's been the last, during the period of this hypothetical homicide.
Yeah.
This guy is very capable of committing a murder and trying to outsmart the cops, and he's a very dangerous guy.
Yeah.
Directly from Police Chief Espinoza. This is a very dangerous guy, but you have him leading your community. Career felon, registered sex offender, multiple rapes, police impersonator, still out there committing these crimes. I just want to show you guys where his headspace is at.
Justice means nothing to these people. Truth means nothing to these people. All that means anything to them is getting their way. You know, and harassing people, putting their nose in where it doesn't belong. I've said all along that, you know, this has nothing. Wait a minute, never seen you in a tie before. I've said all along, this whole thing is a setup. And I can show that in court, and I'm going to. Not only am I going to show it in court, but those documents that prove it will be made public. So, you know, I'm just intolerant of the stupidity these people are injecting. You know, Teresa spends 3.5 hours to drive over here. I look like an attorney. I know I hate it. Let me tell you, I do not like ties. This is the worst thing about this whole experience is that I got to wear a freaking tie. Teresa drives 3.5 hours to come over here and sit in court for 5 minutes.
You're accused of raping a child, but the thing that concerns you is wearing a tie. I mean, again, try not to highlight any of these. They don't deserve the recognition, but we need to expose the cracks in the system so we don't let more slip through like this guy did the first couple times. You know, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If I dig up any more information on him, I'll do another video. But until then, peace.